Am I live? That is the question. Am I live on Twitch? Live on anything? Live on anything? Okay, yep, we're live on Twitch. Are we live on YouTube yet? We are. Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm just gonna go right into it, and I'm sure the people will join. This is just me testing stuff right now. So if you guys join, I will probably watch chat. I'm gonna test some settings here, but I'm gonna roll straight into the Gillee report, and if you join, I'm just kind of testing some stuff. So okay, so yeah, so again, this is just to test some settings. Tomorrow is the actual live stream, but I'm gonna test some stuff here as I go. I was about to record a Gillee report, and I figured I would hit go live and then see what happens. So I don't I mean, I'll interact with chat as needed, but I'm gonna go into my full process here. So hey guys, Gillee here. Today's video is going to be on kind of like my, well, one, settle in for a long one. This is going to be the Gillee report number 3. And really, this is like a time for me to basically give you guys updates on, what's happening with the channel, what's happening with my characters, what's happening with the gold giveaway, which I kind of just did a video on that. So I'm not going to really talk about that today. And the reason I did like an extended video on that was because I had several people that were like, how do I know you have money? Which is a fair question, especially when you have a gold making YouTube channel. People like want to know that you can actually make gold. So I kind of made like a detailed version of what I have. But I would consider myself like upper middle class, which I've actually got I was thinking about this. I'm going to do a planned video that's going to be like the socioeconomic classes of WoW, and it'll be like poor, like farmer, lower middle class, like what that means, upper middle class, and then like the billionaires, or like the I don't know what you would call them, the upper class, which would be like AHD Gen, which he just put out a video today. Apparently he's out of gold as well, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit. So yeah, anyways, that's kind of the point of it. I'm just gonna kind of talk at the camera. You guys feel free to, if you're watching live, feel free to chime in and I'll see to respond. But this is mostly just gonna be kind of monologuing, talking about kind of the updates like I've done for the Gillee report 1 and 2. I just don't really I want to like, vlog is a fucking terrible word, but I want to kind of like vlog what's happening without like feeling any pressure. So, or like putting out a labeled kind of video. So the first thing is I want to bring up what we talked about before. So this is going to be like community gripes. This is both like the WoW community and like my community. It's like, what do people shit on me for? What's up? I'm just good. What do people shit on the game for? What do people shit on me for? What do people maybe I should like change this like community like talk, but kind of thanks Shocks One. And I think you guys can see, yeah, okay, you guys can see the chat. Welcome. So yeah, the first part's gonna be like kind of community gripes, what I see like other YouTubers talking about, what I see like other people talking about in my comment section, so on and so forth. I'm gonna kind of skip over this gold one because I just did a video. We'll talk about the channel progress. I still can't believe, like the latest, well, we'll talk about it, but like the latest kind of expedition that I'm doing is obviously live streaming. I'm testing settings right now for the live that I'm gonna do tomorrow on Tuesday when I raid, but I'm kind of testing out some multi-streaming. I was working on getting that set up on Twitch. Twitch, if you guys are curious, the reason why I I'm adding Twitch is because the response time with Twitch, when you guys see my verbal response and when I see your chat, is like night and day. So YouTube, it's like a forced 30-second, I want to say, like pretty long delay that I can't seem to change. Like I can add a delay, but I have my delay settings on Streamlabs set to like 0, and I considered like switching to OBS and all this stuff. I actually set up an OBS platform and then like was trying to figure out multi-streaming there. And I guess there's different ways that Streamlabs and OBS do it. So I guess, and you know, if you guys have ever streamed, pay attention. If not, like skip forward a minute or two. But Streamlabs to multi-stream, I guess you send your like your bits, like your data, to them, and then they push it out. They're the server. I think it's called the SNMP server. It's like a network protocol, and then they send that out to the streaming services, and it does it all like through. No way, yo, Blue Post drama. Do we actually get WoW token? Did I miss a Blue Post? I'll look at that later. This is one of the reasons I thought about doing this live. That's fucking sick. I'll look at that in a little bit. Thanks, JD or JDM. And so yeah, so the reason I'm testing out live streaming on Twitch is because I want to have like some input into like I want to have live input, right? So we've got 3 prongs that I'm trying to help people deliver value, and it's going to be you know, YouTube channels or YouTube videos, which is like me to you. It's one-way communication. I like that, but it's like kind of terrible. And then the second vector is going to be the Discord. So if you guys haven't checked out the Discord, and I'm getting spammed by somebody looking for resilience of chest. And see, I do shooting YouTube video at the moment. I can help you later. Subscribe at the live at the moment. Okay, so all of this to say that I'm testing out some stream settings, because the third vector is going to be like you and me talking. And like you have, what I want to do is like have, you know, if you have questions and I can get them like immediately, you know, that will help. Where it's not like a community approach like the Discord, it's not me to you, it's like kind of a conversation. That's why we're doing live. And as a part of that, testing out Twitch and multi-stream. Okay, all that to say, that is the point of the testing out live stream settings. I'm gonna change this to favorite. Fuck, we did favorite beer. I'm drinking my Voodoo Ranger right now. Favorite food was last time I did this, like 2 weeks ago. Why don't we do like favorite class? Okay, and then raid. This is like raid gear update. And then I'm gonna move this to the very beginning because I'm getting told in the chat that we're gonna look up like game updates, if any. Okay, so apparently this just came out, this blue post. So I'm gonna go to WoW News. All right, okay. Oh, this like just came out. Oh, no, 5 hours ago. How the fuck did I miss this? Okay, so let's look at this together. We've observed a significant number of Burning Crusade Classic entering dungeons and being no meaningful gameplay. Okay, so they're talking about boosting. Players must participate in combat to receive experience. I think that's pretty fucking cool. The amount of loot dropped by non-boss enemies in high-level dungeons is now determined by how many... Wait, hold on. Number... Okay, that's fine. The vast majority of players who participate in dungeon groups as usual should see... So the question is, the fuckers, my friends, my great friends, that are selling slave pens loot, are they affected? I don't think so, right? The amount of loot dropped by non-boss enemies. So you can still sell nethers or midnight leggings or Eye of Quagmron, right? Strat might be dead. Oh man, Strat might be fucked. No, I haven't. Oh man, that's a good point. This is also why I'm doing this live. That's fucking great. If they man, I just watched that AHD Gen earlier where he was talking about Dark Runes. I'm literally out of gold, but if I had any money, I would be buying. I would I would have bought dark runes. They were 6 gold, 15 silver earlier today. The amount of loot dropped by non-boss enemies in oh, I wonder what they consider high-level dungeons, because Strat might not be a high-level dungeon. Man, that'd be wild. That'd be a huge nerf. Okay, so dark runes on my server, 8 gold, 50. So here's the thing, like, if you're a gambling man, and I actually just shot a video on phase 2 release, and I used my magic 8 ball. If you're a gambling man and you don't think that Stratholme is a high level dungeon and you don't think that it's affected, you could sell dark runes if you had them right now. Because if they come out and clarify, like, oh, we just mean outland dungeons, and I'll show you guys something. I actually was looking at this the other day. Or by the other day, I mean yesterday. /who Paladin Stratholme. Actually, let's just look up /who Stratholme. Fuck, I can't spell. /who Stratholme. Look at this shit. And then let's look at like Paladin. Look at that shit. And then go to Ungilded. Like, I guarantee you, 2/3 of these guys are bots, right? Black Morass Paladin. I mean, that's a lot of 70s, but I think that's like pretty normal. Let's look at another dungeon, like Shattered Hall. Oh, that's a terrible dungeon. Let's look at Shadow Labs. Shadow. Yeah, there's still quite a bit. Like, I think that that's a normal amount in Black Morass. The Stratholme thing is crazy. Anyways, I think so. Let's ask our Magic 8 Ball here if Stratholme is a high level dungeon. Is Stratholme a high level dungeon? Magic 8 Ball. It says you may rely on it. I don't know what the fuck that means, guys. I really don't. But if you were a gambling man, you could sell some of your dark runes. If you're not a gambling man, you just are gonna wait. I'm gonna wait. I have like 200, I think, on my other character. Okay. Is that the only blue post? Man, what is this about a WoW token? Someone said something about a WoW token? I don't see anything on a WoW token, but that'd be crazy. Okay, so that's pretty shitty. If I feel like it affects, actually, hold on. When does this go into effect? Is it April 14th? Okay, so this is part of their 2-hour maintenance. They're gonna test that shit. Okay, so that's good to know. That's also kind of terrible for our timeline, though. I'm going to try not to get distracted. So game update, that's a big one. The other one is the 2-hour maintenance. And I'm going to release a video for this on tomorrow morning. I just shot it. I rendered it and all that. I got to finish making the thumbnail. But I think that, you know, we are in, I'll just give like a sneak peek for those that are here. You guys already watched that and you're watching this later. You've already seen this, but because again, we're recording for the YouTube video for this. But like, if you, there's some math associated that I did before where you can basically take like the TBC timelines and turn them into, or the classic timelines and turn them into anniversary timelines. I did this in anniversary and AQ, and I was like really close using this kind of methodology. So it released on October 2nd, like 1 week later, and then it released on January 13th, right, for TBC, or the pre-patch released on January 13th. So kind of similar math, not super great, but this would put us like at April 16th. So all the people that are saying, oh, phase 2 is still weeks and weeks away, like we're just, all you guys are just like spurging out, you know, talking about community gripes. Thanks to you, Chambers. That means a lot, man. You know, I think that we are well within our rights to be saying like, where's the phase 2 announcement? You know, so there it is. Okay. So community gripes. So this is like the WoW community and my community, right? So let's start with the WoW community. First of all, I think there's a lot less people that are playing right now, which makes sense. They're like kind of bored of Karazhan. And I mean, like that's true within my guild, which actually has quite a few people on right now relative to the time. Probably because we raid tomorrow. But I think there's like a noticeable decrease in players right now, and we should get more raid IO or Ironforge data tomorrow, or maybe Wednesday. I think it comes in like Wednesday normally. That, you know, last week I think I shared this in a video where we kind of crested, right? We were flat for a week. If it comes down this week, that would be like a key indicator for Blizzard to say, hey, we need to fucking release SSCTK like right now, because they want to keep their players engaged. Like TBC had a ton of momentum, and you know, they don't want to lose that momentum. MMOs like kind of run on it actually. So, well, at least in my opinion. And so I think like community gripes right now are, hey, where the fuck is the phase 2 announcement? Which I think is fair. I think Blizzard is trying to like balance the future schedule, right, with like player retention and like player interest. Like they want to give people time to get prepared for SSCTK. Or maybe if you're a pre-nerf guy like I am, I think they're going to release it pre-nerf. I think they'll backtrack it almost immediately like they tried to do. So remember, in Classic, they came out pre-nerf because the community said like, release it pre-nerf, pussy, you won't. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, might be 2 eyes. I don't know. We're gonna go with it though. And Blizzard said, okay, fine, we'll release it pre-nerf. And then like 2 weeks later, all of the raiders are like coming back like battle scarred, fucking limping back to the tavern saying like, please nerf it. And Blizzard was like, okay, we will nerf it. And then the community came back and said, no, don't nerf it. Like we want to kill Vaj and KT now. And so Blizzard came out with a blue post, I think on like a Monday, and they said, just kidding, we're not going to nerf it yet, based on the community response. And then I think they nerfed it like 3 weeks later. So community said release it pre-nerf, like at the beginning of TBC, release all the content pre-nerf. Blizzard said, okay, cool. SSCTK comes around, is murdering raid groups. You know, guilds are falling like flies, dropping like flies. Blizzard says, we're going to nerf it. The community says, fuck you, please don't. And then Blizzard said, okay. And then they nerf it like 3 weeks later because guilds were falling apart. This time I could see them saying like, okay, we're going to release it pre-nerf for 2 weeks. And then you're getting post-nerf content. Like, I think that, that is like a likely outcome, but I think it's just as likely, if not more likely, if they just say, hey, we're already post nerf, we're accelerated schedule, it's post nerf, we don't care about all the like the hardcore guys, like they just accept the anniversary as a dad guild. And honestly, what's most likely is they fuck everything up like they did in AQ and Nax release. So I think it's highly likely. Like I think they released Nax like the week after. At some point in Nax, they had like mechanics totally messed up. Like there was no threat drops. You couldn't, I think like the marks in Four Horsemen were like doing way more threat drop than they were supposed to, or something like that. So yeah, I think it's highly likely. What does it say? If Blizzard wanted to do a home run and please people, they'd release it post nerf and have pre nerf be available. 100% agree. I love that idea. I think that would be a home run, and then they could give you more loot based on if you did the hard mode. And the hard mode would be like, if you remember in Wrath, they had like the coin at the beginning of every dungeon that like all 5 people had to click and channel, and then it would make it hard mode or whatever, like up the difficulty of the dungeon. I think if they did that with a raid, that could be pretty cool. I doubt they will, but I think that would be really cool. Look, we can get cheap viewers at streamboo.com. That's wild. I need to make sure that those guys get banned. I'm going to put that on my list. How do I prevent auto mod or bot view spams? Okay. Like I said, I'm testing out live viewing. The whole point of this is to kind of get those things out. If you guys are watching on YouTube, great. If you're watching on Twitch, great. Twitch is more like instant, so that's why I've been kind of trying to branch out to Twitch. Okay, so that's, I think the community gripes is really, it's just based on the timeline of phase 2. Some other things that the community I think is griping about right now is like the gold. I think, you know, my channel is obviously heavily focused on making gold and like kind of alleviating this like pressure, which if you guys haven't joined the Discord, you should join the Discord. It'll be in the YouTube video description when I post this video on YouTube. And you know, that is like a community effort to, I comment on it several times a day, but there's a lot of like, you know, I've got goblins, a goblin role that is like people that are, you know, good at making gold. I've got like I think I call it working class or something, like non-derogatory, but expresses your gold situation. You know, so like we can meld together as a team here and kind of like get the people that don't know how to make gold, you know, help them make gold. And people ask questions all day long. It's great. Highly recommend joining. So, you know, I think that people are saying like everything is kind of expensive, or like, you know, alchemy consumes, or like, you know, people are talking about nether bloom, or maybe the content's too easy. I think it's another gripe. Trying to think what else I see from people. I don't use Reddit because I think Reddit is super toxic, but maybe I need to get on that. Yeah, I mean, I think that's most of the things that people are saying in my community is like, it's kind of hard to make gold right now in the auction house. I think a big part of that is like it's like an investor time. And I think everyone's out of gold right now to invest. Now you see, you're like, and AHT Gen, I don't mean to like steal his thunder, and he was saying this as well, but like a lot of people are out of gold to invest. So you're kind of got like this pit, this bottom is falling out because the people that would be buying right now are out of gold. And there's like this lack of people raiding right now because it's the end of the phase. So what you get is a lot of prices plummeting, you know, people having doomsday. Well, I've been telling people in the Discord and on my videos is like, just wait. Like when the phase 2 announcement comes, you're going to see everything. Like we just showed the dark rune price. Imagine this for everything. That's what it's going to look like. Without a doubt, guaranteed. I would wager like 2,000 gold on it. Okay, so Gillee gripes. Also, if my camera stops working, which it's been doing randomly, please like spam the chat or something. I don't know, because it's been like randomly not working, and it pisses me off. Most people, I think the last week I haven't gotten a lot of negative comments, which is kind of cool. There's a couple people that are, you know, motivators, as we'd say in the military, that, you know, really want to express their opinion, and that's cool. I love that. You know, they'll comment like 4 or 5 times on one video, which is great. But for the most part, I think people are people think what we're doing here as a group, as a team, as a community is like good, right, for the community. So I don't really have anything bad to say about, you know, negative comments this week, which is awesome. I did make a testimonial section in Discord. You know, like if you guys have used the channel and you've made gold, that's great. Consider joining the Discord and putting like, you know, I learned how to make gold, you know, and I'm going to make a video, like I said, about the different socioeconomic classes of WoW. And, you know, I think how the channel can serve the different groups, or how those groups can like share their knowledge. So, okay, back to the agenda. Channel progress. I don't know why or how. I was talking with the Gillee about this. I don't know why you guys seem to like what I'm doing, but I mean, I've been getting traction. There's the only word for it. And I honestly have no fucking idea why. It's literally surreal. I'm just like a dude talking at a microphone, of like sharing the game that I love to play. And every day the subscriber count goes up. Every day the watch hours goes up. I streamed the Q&A podcast for Twitch. I think we had like it was like 3 or 4 live viewers, but in YouTube we've had like over 1,000 views now, and the watch time is crazy. So yeah, I don't know what it is, but I can't thank you guys enough. Really appreciate all the support. What I'm trying to do right now, and I kind of talked about this at the beginning, I'm trying to deliver the value the 3 different ways, like me to you, the community to you, and then you and me, like in a conversation, which is what the live streams are for. So I'm going to be branching out into Twitch. Part of that is going to be just to add like time where I'm live able to respond is by doing the raids. I'm going to stream my raids, which for right now will be Tuesday, Thursday, or which right now will be Tuesday, and then I won't be raiding Thursday, but I'll be playing. I think come SSCTK it'll be a lot of um you know, like rating content, and then if you guys have gold Q&A questions, I'm trying to get that set up on Friday. The problem is what I'm learning now with like having a schedule, which is the reason I didn't start with Twitch, is I do like family time right on the weekends. So I have like my family come stay with us, you know, in our guest room, and or you know, like my wife and I are both working engineers. We have to like you know, we both have to work. Sometimes we work at night, and it's just hard to maintain that schedule on the weekend. So what I was gonna do, brew and bullshit Saturday, I think I'm gonna try to move to like Friday and do that as like the Q&A. So if you guys have gold questions, you know, whether it's good or not, like I see one earlier, what investments do you think are fair priced? You know, those are the types of questions that I'm trying to keep to Friday. I will answer them obviously for Tuesday and Thursday. Right now I'm trying to keep the YouTube videos set, so I'm going to try to minimize my interaction with chat. I'm really just testing some settings. I'm going to go and walk through this. And I appreciate you guys. I am watching the chat. I appreciate you guys' responses. But this is going to be like kind of a monologue, like I said at the beginning. So yeah, channel progress is fucking crazy. I don't know another word to say it, but I'm just trying to, you know, show you guys what I know, provide value. I think it's really cool. Kind of like one of the reasons that I started when I was a GM, we had like, I want to say half of our raid, it was the first time that they were clearing AQ and Nax and stuff. And I had the privilege of being a raid leader, and people said, oh, like, thank you. You know, I played Nax in 2004, but I never had a chance to like clear it. And we cleared Nax, killed KT, we had it on farm. And that kind of like clicked into my head. There's probably a lot of new players in this game, you know, and gold is like kind of a big enabling factor of the game, which is why I made the channel. So I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I am, if you guys watched the live stream on Tuesday, I'm not trying to like play the algorithm. I'm not trying to like worry about family friendly or anything like that. I'm just a dude talking in a microphone. If you guys tune in, it's great. Do you think farming will become less popular over time? Nope. Farming will always be the #1 method. The reason for that is it's easy. Like it is part of the game. You're farming from the time you're a level 1 character. So farming will always be the most popular gold farming method because it's the most like innate. It's the simplest. You go out, you're in an MMO RPG, you go out and you kill shit, you get gold for it, and it's really easy. Okay, favorite class. This is a hard one, and I shouldn't have put this because I don't really have a favorite class. But I'm pretty sure my favorite class is warrior, actually. I don't get to play it in anything but vanilla because I'm always like the guy that said, this is just how I am. I like to be the guy that like helps the raid leader. And by that I mean like I've always been, hey raid lead, what do you need? I'll play whatever you fucking need. You need a warlock? I'll play warlock. You need like a pumper warlock? I'll be that. You need a support class? I'll play that. You need a healer? I'll play that. And my favorite class to play is like a meta DPS class. I prefer melee DPS over not, you know, over ranged. But if you guys want to share your favorite class in the chat, that'd be kind of cool if we get to see those going on. We got a couple people watching, and yeah, I mean, I prefer melee DPS. I've played everything at a raid level from warrior, mage, warlock, rogue, basically everything. A druid. I've rated as a hunter a little bit, not a lot. And yeah, I would say basically everything except for like DK and priest and shaman, probably. I never rated as those guys, but I think everything else I've rated as. Rogue, warrior mage. What's up, bro? Yeah, I mean, it really is. I think there is like kind of a class identity. That's what I love about Classic, is you get your character, and that like that's your main, you know. Um, like for me, I have like this character, this Gillee. Like this was such a fun experience for me because halfway through classic, or probably like 2/3 of the way through, at the end of AQ actually, I switched from a druid, a feral druid, to a warrior. And I went from like I was a pumper feral druid cat, and then I like unlocked the fucking secret sauce, which was switching to a fury warrior. And in my guild that was led by, you know, several people, but the ones that everyone knows are Def Camp and Melderon, um, I was like the number one DPS when I had raid buffs. Like that was kind of how it worked. Like if you could keep your raid buffs, um, you know, that was like a big deal. But if I kept my raid buffs and the other warriors had their raid buffs, like I would normally be number one just because I would like call it the cooldowns and all that stuff. I just, you know, I really like being the number one DPS. And I would do all the raid log stuff, the raid, like the log deep dives, and figure out, you know, I'd compare myself to a Londo or compare myself to a lot of the Onslaught guys and figure like, when are they popping their cooldowns? When are they, you know, like what's their uptime, their cast, you know, things. So I think when you have like a meta top DPS, like in TBC, it would be Hunter or Warlock, in my view. Maybe Fury Warrior towards the later phases for sure. Maybe Rogue even, but like I'm sorry, Hunter and Warlock are like pretty top the whole time. Arcane Mage is obviously really good, but like, you know, they're hard. You like, I think it's like one or two Arcane Mages because they need so much support. And so like when you're that top when you're that meta DPS class, you kind of get to compare yourself to others in like around the world or whatever. And I really like that. And as well as your own play, because like you're not limited by anything. I think something that's just as fun though, for me at least, is playing like support class and like doing more damage than those meta class people. Like there's nothing that makes me happier on a Ret Paladin right now than doing more damage than a Fury Warrior or doing more damage than a Hunter, which is like, it's hard. Our hunters are, well, our Beastmaster Hunter, it'd be easier for me to beat a survival. Like our Beastmaster Hunter, he's a really good player. I'll probably never beat him, but like if I ever did, I'd be like, yeah, fuck you, I got it. You know, I did really well. That's a fun part about playing like a support class. So, okay, and the last one is the raid gear update, which I did. So I kind of have two methods here. This last week, I decided to finish leveling my hunter. So my hunter is 70 now. I actually did Kara with him on Saturday. And I didn't get any loot. The whatever the axe is, I think it's Destiny, dropped, but I passed it. I didn't really care. And yeah, so my raid loot here for this week, I don't think I actually got anything on the paladin. Maybe I think I enchanted this helm. But yeah, oh no, you know, I did. I think I got these wrists. Oh, I did. So I got these Blade Spire Warband wrists, which are bis for Ret. And I'm kind of like sitting pretty fucking happy right now on the Ret Paladin. It's kind of hard to see like if you aren't familiar with this layout, but basically most of my gear is either bis or like second bis because I'm not world bossing. And yeah, boy, I agree. The next tier looks fucking good. That's why I love that character. And I'll get to the chat here in a second. But yeah, I've got Vengeance Wrap. This is bis. Justicar. Like these are, I think, side bis to world boss. There's like 4 really good necklaces. My helm, I think, is bis. There might be a world drop boss one for that. These are bis. I don't know why my raid leader, my guild gives me gear over anyone else. I feel like if I were the loot guy, I would give me everything last because I'm a Ret Paladin. But I did get the Blade Spire Warbands, which are good. I'm sure that they have, for the record, I'm sure they have a plan. Like I might get fucked next phase is what I think is probably going to happen, which is fine. And then I've got Gorehowl, which I'm not a blacksmith. My reasoning for this was I really like making gold, obviously. And so on my paladin, like your bis professions are, as a ret, are engineering and blacksmithing for phase 1 and 2. And then for phase, I think 3 on, Whenever you get the 4 stats, then you switch blacksmithing for enchanting. So then it's enchanting engineering. But I knew I was going to be tanking, so I basically made the decision to be enchanting, which is like really good for prot at the beginning because you can enchant your rings with like spell power. Big Saw I did. I don't think we know if it affects Stratholme, but yeah, I'm recording this video and I'm going to post it on YouTube, probably to be public on Wednesday maybe. But I might post, I just shot another video. I'll post them both on I might post them both tomorrow. I don't think it's a nothing burger, but I think we need more information before you go buy a bunch of dark runes or something. I think it just literally fucks the boosters, which is great. Which actually I had a spree of thoughts, but I want to finish going over here, so I'll talk about that in a second. You know, the next one is like these grips of deafness for Rhett, really good. Oh, hold on, let me back up. The reason that I'm enchanting is because I have 3 gear sets, like Prot, Holy, and Rhett. And enchanting like is the best one for kind of like all 3 of those, because it's really good for Holy, it's really good for Prot, and it's like okay for Rhett. It's really good for Rhett in the like later phases. And then I went jewel crafting because it's really good for making gold, and I could get all of the trinkets. I'm actually considering dropping jewel crafting right now and picking it up on an alt. And then the problem is I have like every fucking design possible right now. I don't want to say every one of them, but I have like all the big ones. So I'm really considering dropping it for engineering, and then I'll be engineering enchanting. But I'm just not ready to pull that trigger yet. The like things that are affecting my brain is I already think I'm gonna miss the 200k goal by the time that Wrath releases. Excuse me. And so I'm trying to like not spend a bunch of money. In fact, that was one of the reasons I leveled my hunter, was so that I could get more gold. But we'll see how the investments go, is basically what it comes down to. Yeah, so that's kind of like the raid gear. Is my guy is basically going into phase 2 full bis except for like DST, and I could get the Mechanar trinket. It's kind of a toss-up of Mechanar of like Hourglass versus the whatever the melee one is here from Mechanar. The name is escaping me. It's called Abacus. Yeah, so like this is really good on Rhett. Supposedly it's better than Hourglass, but depending on which YouTuber, which bis list, or which sim you use, it's, you know, one way or the other. And I could use boots too from Nightbane. That's the other thing. Okay, so that's kind of the raid gear on this guy. I will boot up the hunter and show you guys him, because I actually made a lot of progress on the hunter. And while I do that, I want to talk about that blue post again. So if we go and look at this blue post, it says, let's think about this logically, right? Just kind of like the whole kind of the name of the channel. The amount of loot dropped by non-boss enemies in high-level dungeons is now determined by how many players participate in the kill. Okay, so this is gold farming and boosting, right? Players must participate in combat to receive experience from dungeons. What the fuck does that mean? Does that mean I have to heal the guy? Does that mean I have to drop a totem? Does that mean I have to do a certain threshold of damage? It's probably the same rules. What they probably did is, like, if you guys have ever done like a Mara boost, and you go and like you throw 1 scroll or 1 heal on the booster after he's already pulled stuff, you get XP for everything, right? Whereas like otherwise, if you run into the dungeon and he's already pulled 100 mobs and you don't do anything to him, you'll only get XP for the mobs that he pulls after you enter the dungeon. So like I bring up Maradon or Mardon because it's like a 300 mob pull. But like if you've ever been late and the booster will say like, oh, the first run's free because like it's a partial run. If you just run in there and fucking throw a heal on him or throw like a scroll of intellect or something, well, that's a terrible example because they're all mages, like a scroll of protection on him, you'll get credit for everything that even when you weren't there. So maybe they take that mechanic and they say, okay, if you don't do that to the boss, you're not getting any, or to the booster, you're not getting any XP, which means then you have to like go with him. So things like Shadow Labs might not be affected because you could just throw a heal on him. You couldn't AFK fully, but you could get like boosted, if that makes sense. I don't know. And then this high level dungeons, this is like the key term. What the fuck is a high level dungeon? In legal terms, this is like what's the word? Ambiguous. So that gives them full leeway to say like, okay, fuck you, Stratholme, Skullomance, like what's high level? Where do you consider, is it 58 plus? Like when you're in classic, Stratholme, Skolo, Dire Maul, those are all like high level dungeons. And then like in Outlands, what would be a high level dungeon in Outlands, right? Is that Hellfire Ramparts? Is that Blood Furnace? Is that Slave Pens? You know, like, or is it just Shadow Labs and above? You know, like, is it the 68 dungeons? I think what it is it's probably Outland dungeons. So then Stratholme would not be affected for gold farming, but you can't then go boost people in Stratholme because the player must participate. This could go one of two ways in my mind. So let's play this out. Like Route 1, I'm going to reserve my thoughts here. So Route 1, 1. This is 2. And then we're looking at Dark Rune prices going up or Dark Rune prices going down, right? Dark Rune. Okay, so Route 1, Dark Rune prices go up. This is the path where they say Stratholme and Skullomance are high level dungeons and we're fucking the loot table, right? Right, so the amount of loot dropped by non-boss enemies, I'm assuming it's some multiplier. They say 10% of the loot dropped is going to be, or only 10% of the normal loot is going to drop or something like that in a high level dungeon. So if this is the case and if it affects Stratholme and Skullomance, Dark Runes are going to skyrocket. Like, you think they're high, or you think they're affected now? Wait until 3 phases from now, when 2 phases from now, when healers actually need to use Dark Runes, like in phase 3, or like progression of phase 2. Right now, nobody's using Dark Runes or Demonic Runes because like they're pretty easy to. All the fights last like 2 minutes. Like you don't ever go and then, you know, like all the boosting stuff is fucked, I think, either way. That's who they're targeting. So let's go Route 2, where, again, Stratholme and... Oh, my camera might stop. It's flashing at me. Camera, don't fuck me. If Skullomance is not considered a high-level dungeon, Dark Rune prices are going to go down, I think. I would wager. And that's because all the bots are going to go to Skullomance, right? And they're going to farm Dark Runes. And then that'll flood the supply of Dark Runes because the bots can't do anything in Outlands, maybe. And then they go to the low-level dungeons, which would be all the level 60 high-level dungeons, which would be Skullomance, Stratholme, and Dire Maul. Maybe Maraudon, because you can farm decent gold per hour in Maraudon, like just vendoring stuff. The problem is like it's so much, right? I think the gold per hour is better. It's definitely better. Holy shit, that was fucking loud. Blew my mind out. Okay, let's go like this. Let's go. Was that loud for you guys too? Lower the volume on alerts. That blew my fucking brains out. Hold on, I gotta find that real quick. Where is that alert? Oh god, I don't even see it. This is why we're testing, boys. This is why we're testing. I might even just remove that, because I don't even see like an audio. Oh god. Oh god, they're coming in. More. Okay, I need to fix that audio like stat. I'm gonna mute that. Maybe that'll fix it. Um, thank you for the prime and the follow on Twitch, guys. Thank you, Big Saw and Rainer Bra. So yeah, so the opposite is that all the bots say fuck you, we're going to the low level dungeons, and they flood the darkroom prices. Voldy, I got you. I could probably get you right now, actually. I'm in Winter Spring. Never mind. You'd have to come to Winter Spring because I'm trying to farm Timber Maw. Where I'm at. I'm at. Oh, we're so close. I'm trying to get honored for Timber Maw to do the 15 agi. So yeah, I mean, I think as far as the blue post is concerned, it could go either way. We just need more information. What? You're right in front of me? No. You piece. Boldy, no. Oh, okay. I can get you right now if you log on. I think for sure all the rep and Colfin armaments will go up. That's a really good observation. Yeah, so we got to figure out, yeah, like the Aldor rep stuff, because a lot of these guys are farming. If I do /who Shadow Lab, and then do mage, and then move it. I don't know if I can move it. Can you guys see that? Nope, not really. Hold please. Oh wait, has that been off the whole time? Oh my god. Guys, I'm a shitty streamer. Just like leave now. And then I'm gonna move. This is why we're doing this though. This is good. Then I'm gonna move this, like, I need to move this over here somewhere. Maybe make this smaller. Okay, we're cooking. This guy over here. Okay. Oh, I happen to move it. Okay, got it. I appreciate you guys being my like my test subjects here. Okay, so yeah, so this got it. Okay, we're gonna move this down because that's important to see those. Bear with me, boys. Okay. Yeah, so like all of these mages are about to get fucked. And then we need to see where they go, right? Like all of these are mages. And remember, it's one guy for two mages. So like should I say that? Yeah, I mean like it's one gold seller, whatever country they're from, one gold seller to like two mages in there. And so there's like 25 bots farming a shitload of money. I think that those guys go somewhere else, but like if like what can they automate? Like kind of curious now. /who lower Blackrock. What is that place called? Maybe it's just called Blackrock Spire. Nope, they're not there. Zulgarub? Is that how you spell that? Not there. Yeah, it'll be curious. Like go and look at this. Kind of one of the reasons I'm looking at these on the recording is so that I can go and look at them later after the phase, after the change happens. But like, where can you farm mass amounts of gold? Rathol. That's all paladins, but they're all gilded. Most of them are gilded. And there's not 50, which means that's not where the bots are. Yeah, I mean that's kind of curious. I'm really curious where these guys go. Risky move to invest in dark runes. It depends, man. I think it really depends on. Oh yeah, let me look at Skolo. It really depends on what they consider the low level or a high level dungeon. All of these guys are without a doubt bots farming right now. I think if I were a bot farm, excuse me, Jesus. If I were a bot farmer, I would be like sending my guys to Skullman's. Because who knows what happens with dark runes. You know, if this is considered a high level dungeon, dark rune prices are about to go crazy. If this is considered a low level dungeon, dark rune prices are probably about to go down even more because all the bots will be banned from outlet dungeons. So it's like, where do they go? Do they go to herb farming? Maybe, but that's restricted on layers. So I keep bringing this up, and you know, I'm going to keep shouting at the walls. We have 11 layers at 10 p.m. on a Monday. Look at this at like, I don't know. I mean, most people are at work. I have the privilege of working from home, but like, look at this at, I don't know, noon on a Tuesday or something. In fact, I might have had that in my Discord. If I go to my Discord and then I search like from me, if this works. Nope, I'm alert. Author. How do I do that? Why is this not working right now? Maybe because I have streamer mode on? From? That should work. I don't know why it's not working. But I will post in the Discord, which reminds me, if you guys haven't joined the Discord, join the Discord. But I've been posting like how many layers are on at different times, because Rainer, I don't have anything set up. I am a peasant in the streamer world. I intend to set stuff up. I will put that on the list of shit to do. Thank you, sir. Set up commands for Discord and YouTube. And I'll put a little reminder myself. You suck at streaming. Okay. And yeah, I think that the Dark Runes could go crazy if it's banned from getting people, right? Which with the layers, like you see people out here in Fellwood farming. Yeah, anyways, I think I might keep the stream open if you guys are down, but I think I'm gonna end the YouTube video there. Again, I was just shooting like a YouTube video. I don't know what I just did with my hands. The YouTube video. Again, I'm gonna clip this. I am recording right now to try and like test out some settings, but this is gonna be the Gillee report number 3. If you guys have been watching on YouTube, you know, just gives me a time to kind of talk about all the things that are on my mind that aren't like really one video specific. It's just kind of like stream of thought and all that. So if you guys like the video, consider subscribing on the channels. Come see us on Twitch and trying to build that that instantaneous thing. I've put out the schedule, I think, on YouTube and Twitch, so you guys can see when I plan on being live to answer questions or raid. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Thanks. All right, and cut. Okay, I'm gonna keep the live stream open because I kind of want to talk a little bit about you know, some of your guys' chats and see. And Voldy, I can get your enchant now. But I mean, this stream was unplanned. I was just trying to test settings for when I go live tomorrow for the raid. Oh yeah, you're in a mech. Okay. Okay, so I'm confident it will include level 60 dungeons. Like, what do you base it off of? Just like where the bots are, maybe? The strat skull farms are pretty well known. The blue plus, they're targeting gold. Yeah, I agree. The difference is like you can farm a lot more gold in actually, I have 2 thoughts now. You can farm a lot more gold in Outland dungeons, right? Because they're higher level. But what about these motherfuckers? Rogue, Beam Vault. These are the guys inflating the economy, right? These are the guys pickpocketing, or I mean, that's at least 50 rogues. And you know, some of these guys are not bots. Oh, never mind. They're all fucking bots. Look at that. All these ungilded rogues. These are where they need to focus. Or like, let's look at Rogue Mana Tomb. A shitload more. Like, this is where the money is coming from. Super MF villain, yeah, dude. This is crazy. I mean, I watched a video today. The guy has like, let's see if I can find him. YouTube again. Hopefully, I don't dox myself. Rogue Steam Vault. This guy has like 2 videos. Rogue's Diary. I think it's this guy. Okay, so he's been around for 5 years. He has 2,000 subscribers, and he's posted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times since. Oh, he just posted another one in TBC, and it's all about Steam Vault farming. And I think he was the one that showed us how to get Blasted Lands like Spine Sever, and I think this is why you could get Living Rubies in vanillas, because the rogues are pickpocketing this shit. But you look at his videos, it's like 25,000 views on a channel with 2,000. Like that's like small YouTube viral. Um, it's such good gold, and you can farm like, and I think he's streaming now too. It looks like he's live. Let's go look yeah, he's in fucking Steam Vaults. Like this is all that he's doing. He's probably got a shitload of gold. It's not like a Gillee farm because it requires effort, and I just do no effort farms. And we'll go ahead and like his thing. But yeah, this guy, he does nothing but Steam Vault farming, and he teaches people how to do it, which is cool. But clearly it's having an effect because there's a shitload of rogues in Steam Vault, right? Morning Exodus. Where are you at if it's morning? Australia? New Zealand, maybe? Asia? That guy's the reason I'm loving my rogue, especially since markets are down. Yeah, I mean, I agree. So like I put out the gold farm tier list, and I don't like to farm, which is why this particular period is hard for people like me to make gold. Um, I make the most gold in what I call the maintenance period. Like after all the way that I like to make gold, I make a lot of money in the first couple of weeks before and after a phase release from my investments, but like I make a lot of my churn money like from my professions in like the middle 2/3, like before everyone quits, but after all the hype. That's where I like really like to make gold. And right now it's hard to make gold if you're like me, but your like raw gold farms are still doing really well. You know, not as good as they were 3 weeks ago, but 7 a.m. in Norway. Wait, really? So then what time is it in New Zealand? Probably like in the afternoon. Okay, so like it's 10 p.m. here. That's your guys' like I don't say early, but like that's your morning in Europe. Interesting, good to know. I have a lot of like Europeans that watch the channel too, which is kind of cool. Again, surreal with the channel, not something I ever expected that I had people around the world like learning stuff or calling me fat or skinny or anorexic or whatever the word is. I'm not any of those things, obviously. Pickpocket resistors come in TBC. Yeah, but can't you just like vanish? Prep vanish and all that? I really liked farm either, but I started anniversary really late, almost close. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the problem is like I don't like to farm, but you have to farm at the very beginning. Um okay, I am going to turn my also this pisses me off that they added like a little this thing. Why did they do that? I love Blizzard for the record, but yeah, when they do stuff like that. Okay, let me know if it sounds too loud. I'm gonna go farm Timbermaw, and when you guys lose interest, I'll probably turn off the stream, but I'll probably keep it on for another hour and a half or something. We just so if you got questions, hit me with them. Making me some Paladin says I really picture kind of have always been shit at making gold. Yeah, man, that's kind of the whole point. Whole point of the channel is just kind of teach people because it like I said this, I really do mean it. It breaks my heart when people feel like they have to buy gold. So I am farming for factions. Remember my hold. So at friendly, I can get the two-hand enchant, which this isn't very good anymore because there's a 35 agility. So this is 25 agility to 200. There's a 35 agility, I think, drops from Arcatraz. But this one-handed agility, which is 15, is BIS for hunters, and there's a shitload of hunters. So I get asked all the time if I have 15 agility to weapon, and it's terrible. So in order to do that, you have to kill a bunch. You have to basically become. I don't know if you can. This might be TOS, but you have to basically become Hitler for the fucking kobolds and genocide their entire fucking race and family to be able to enchant people's gear so that they can go and genocide Naga and stuff. Basically, WoW is about murdering lots of things. Like, go to Nagrand, it's basically kill every fucking animal ever known to man. That's loud. So I'm just gonna kind of, you know, farm shit. If you guys got gold questions, hit me with them. If for some reason you want my opinion on something, hit me. We'll keep going. Monk at TOS, yeah, probably. That'll happen. Like I said, I really don't care. As long as they don't like give me a strike, I don't need the money or anything like that. Speaking of channel updates, I don't know how or why, but with the the monetization from YouTube with ads or whatever, even from like premium people, I've made almost like, well, I haven't gotten anything in the mail or whatever, but I've on paper made almost like $800, which is fucking crazy. I'm probably just gonna keep dumping it all in. I bought a bought a webcam because I didn't even own one at the beginning, which is why if you look at all my videos, there's no webcam. Yeah, hit me with them, super villain, super MF villain. Hit me with the gold ones. Anything you guys got, hit me with them. Probably anytime I stream, I'll be willing to take gold ones, but Friday will be like explicitly for that. Masters. Document it so taxes don't include unfortunate surprises. Yeah, so I've been... This is kind of like a... You guys don't care, but I'll tell you anyways. I'm just a normal dude, as I always say. Playing the game that I love. Decided to start making videos, and now that I'm making an income out of them, and I'm like... I still don't consider myself like a YouTuber. I still don't have like that following. But I'm getting to the point now where I'm like, well, do I need to make like a tax vehicle, like an LLC, and then like a business PayPal and all this other shit that I was watching this YouTube video where people talk about all the things that streamers and YouTubers have to do. And it makes sense. Like, you don't want to, I always joke about doxing myself, but like the bigger you get, the more likely you are to run into crazy people. And it's kind of like part of the turf. But like, I have a family that I care about. If people want to fuck with me, like, I don't care. I was in the military, laid my life down, whatever. I'm willing to defend my territory, but like, my children, my wife, I don't know, gets a little froggy sometimes. I'm like, okay, I probably need to start protecting my self. Not that I think I'll ever get big enough to actually care, but things that cross your mind. Okay, I just bought hella spicy crawdads. Okay, stam food. For tanks, they look like a good flip, almost 25% flip. I don't know if that's great, but I'm gonna try it. I think a lot of the food is gonna go up because one thing that doesn't happen right now is wipes. Like, even in my guild, I was shitting on my raid lead via whispers. Why the fuck didn't we wipe when like 5 of us died? It was on a mag Therodon like a couple weeks ago. And we're trying like a new parsing strat, and 5 or 6 people died on the pull. And it's like, why didn't we just wipe it up and try to parse again? But the content is so fucking easy that with a couple of battle reses and like 22 people, we were able to kill the mag Therodon. Like, even with the mechanic. Content is that easy. And the reason I bring this up is not a shit on my raid leaders, which I really actually like and respect. Especially having been a raid leader myself. I'll never shit on a raid leader ever again. But if our raid can kill stuff with like 22 people, other raids are as well. So like the likelihood of a wipe goes down a lot, which means that you can then, you're not having to use as many consumes. When we go to progress in SSCTK, that's not going to be the case. People are going to fucking die and raids are going to wipe. Like, tanks are going to get busted pretty easily. And sure, even if it's post nerf, it'll be like easier. But I still think that, also don't judge me on my gameplay. I'm not really paying attention. I'm trying to think about this stuff meaningfully. But I still think that even with post nerf, guilds are going to wipe like exponentially more for like two weeks or so. And that'll cause all the food back to the original thing, like spicy crawdad, to go up. I think this, what is it, spotted felltail or some shit comes out and you get the fisherman feast. But if you watch Nick B's video, which I've shouted out on the YouTube channel many times, his name is like Nick B Wow. If you guys are, haven't seen the video where I talk about him, like Nick B Wow, this guy, so he's got a little mage with ATS in his thing. He has won this series that is a flipping challenge, which I'm probably gonna do. I started doing this in Classic and I got to like 80 gold and then I stopped because it was a lot of editing work and I didn't have that skill set yet. But there's one here where my phase 2 investments and then phase 2 results. If you watch these, he invested in Spelltail and it was like kind of a wash on his investment. Okay, let's see here. I just bought oh yeah, so is 20 agility from car rep in phase 2. 20 agility from car rep. Motherfucker, you guys are about to blow my mind. When did that come out? I actually do remember this. I don't know when it comes out. I think it's in faction. It might be in here. Is this out? Let's go look this up. Chant weapon. PVC. PVC Classic Phase 3. So that'll be in another phase. If they do the same thing. Okay, good. I feel like I'm not wasting my time anymore. That would have really sucked. Okay, we get Fish Feast next phase. Yes, you do. Oh, is it a phase 2 release? Not yet. We don't have confirmed. Taborobot, I'm a pally with 1,000 gold. What do I farm? I'm having a hard time with strat. You're probably having a hard time with strat because of your gear. So I would like try again. One, when you say you're having a hard time, anytime I know all the boosts from Classic Vanilla, or I knew them at one time. I'm probably very rusty on all of them except for maybe ZG, and even then I'm a little bit rusty. But it takes a little bit of time to learn any boost or any gold farm. So I would say like unless you've wiped like 20 times, keep trying at it. And then if you get it like if you get it down one time, keep at it. If you can't get it down one time in like 20 tries, I'd probably move on. And then like wait till you get more gear and then go back. But if you only have 1,000 gold, what do you farm? You can flip food. That's an easy one that everyone can do. Paladin kind of sucks at farming, so you're limited on your professions. I'm kind of curious what your professions are. If I had 1,000 gold and I was a paladin, I would. If I had a gathering profession, I might do that if I had epic mount. If I don't have epic mount, I'm probably doing like stuff like fishing, cooking, flips. And without strat, that's kind of like the whole point of having a paladin is that you can farm. You could try lower Blackrock Spire. That's one that you can do. I think you can still do it. I honestly don't know. I haven't tried it, but a guy named Dr. Kale on YouTube. He was a private server guy and he had the guild. There's another guild called it. It's called, search Dr. Kill. Wow. He was on Scotty J's channel, Get Carried. So he was like the GM of Get Carried, which is a private one. Yeah, this is Dr. Kill. And then if I go to WoW lower Blackrock Spire. Farm. This guy. Okay, so his channel is called Get Carried because he was the GM of Get Carried. I would check this out because this would probably be a little bit easier. And you can see here he's farming on a paladin. The problem is this is all like pre-nerf. This farm might be gone because there's no one in lower Blackrock Spire. I literally have no idea, but this is what I would do. If you're NG mining, yeah, I mean, what I would do if I had engineering and mining, I'd probably run around on my slow mount if you didn't have epic, and I would just try to farm nodes, and then use that gold, buy food, flip food. But yeah, right now, like with that little amount of gold, like not to shit on how much or little you have, you're in the realm where like you need to build more capital so that you can start using your professions. Okay, with prices being so weird, but phase 2 being expected to be announced at any moment, what do you think are still good investments at the moment? Another been recently went from 2 to 4 gold on my servers, so I feel I'm too late. Yeah, so I would have said Dark Runes, and I've been saying if you go to the market update, on YouTube and look at anything that I say is cheap. I think it was like gems, dark runes. I think Terracone is still kind of cheaper than it should be. Netherbloom is fucked. Like I still think you can get Netherbloom cheap, relative. The way you buy Netherbloom right now is you have TSM, you get the market, you get like the market value, and then anytime you see it at like 100%, you buy it because it's always over. So 100% is like actually 90%. Best food to stack on its own is Golden Darters. It's only healer food. So Golden Darter, I remember on my server was like 1 gold. Right now it's cheaper than that. And I think it could be the case. It's a good thing. But the problem with healers, I love my healers. The problem with healers is you have to beg to get healers, right? In this game. Healers aren't exactly fun. So, well, I don't think they are. I mean, I'll play them. But like, if given the opportunity to do either tanking, DPSing, or healing, I'll choose tank and DPS every time. So you kind of got to be careful with investing in healer, like parsing things. Granted, it's their only food, so they should be buying it. But like, I'd much rather invest in a DPS consumable because DPS have to they're a little more scrappy. They got to fight for their spot. Most raid leads are trying to keep their healers, not like say, hey, you didn't use your Golden Darter, get the fuck out. That's just one consideration. I do think it's a good investment. I think it's pretty cheap right now. And it is kind of a pain in the ass to fish because like it's fishing, and fishing just, in my view, sucks to do, but that's my own. Okay, these guys do not farm very well as prot. Oh, that's loud as shit. Sorry. Thanks, Drive-By. Also, I'm kind of curious why, I don't know if anybody's subscribed on YouTube, but I'm curious if anything has popped up on YouTube. If you guys aren't subscribed on YouTube, if you could do me a flavor and subscribe, and you can like immediately unsubscribe. I really don't care. I just want to test a setting. Okay, so Sab, I'm glad you'll make gold out of the, yeah, okay, perfect. Thank you, Sab. I'm guilty of getting 30 spell power for non-bis. Yeah, I wish I had the I wish that I had the classic enchants, but obviously I'm a paladin, so I couldn't have it. Yeah, crazy thing about, he is a clicker, and I think it's because he had like something happen to him, right? I remember him, there's a video of Scotty J interviewing Dr. Kale, and you can see him clicking on his fucking things, right? And I think he like had an accident or something. Good night, Seb. And yeah, I think that's why he clicks. But yeah, he's a full clicker, which is kind of crazy. What could flip for tailoring right now? Just got max today. Okay, so for tailoring, I think you're restricted to like bags. Bags are always good if you can make them for a profit. Havoc bracers. Let's see here. See tailoring. Vengeance Trap is good, obviously, if you have it in the nethers. The enhancements, like if you have Runic Spell Thread, particularly, or like if you're most tailors, I think, are probably scryers, if I had to guess, because mages, like I think normally casters are scryers. So like, I would just do the, let's see here. That's, and oh god, that's fucking loud. Jesus. Okay, thanks for the sub, Daniel. I need to figure out how to turn that off. That is literally blowing my fucking eardrums. Okay, hold on. Let me cook. Dashboard. Oh, dox myself. Nope, don't dox myself. Okay, alert. I was messing with overlays, and I think that's why it's messed up. I'm going to turn everything way the fuck down. Yeah, all this stuff is like, sorry, I do appreciate you guys bearing with me here. Okay. Is it super loud on your guys' end as well, or just in my ears? Are my ears the only getting... Okay, perfect. You can't hear it anymore. Perfect. It is blowing out my eardrums, which I think I just got them all lowered. Okay, what's your take on haste and destruction potion recipes? Wait, did I'm hold on, yeah, so anyways, for tailoring, I think it's like you got to do the math on whether or not whatever your Aldor or Scryer, these bags Havoc bracers, which are these guys, bracers of Havoc rather, spend 100 gold, like you flip this maybe 10 times, then you're all profit from there. These might go down though as you know we move on. It's kind of hard to say with like alt gear because sometimes the crafted items go down in profit but up in volume like later on because more people are leveling alts. But yeah, I think those are like the kind of the 4 or 5 things I would do: vengeance wraps, havoc bracers, bags, and enhancements. What's your take on haste and destruction recipes at the moment? Will they rise in phase 2? Yes, I believe they will. You have to get them at a good price. The problem with those recipes is they're totally dependent on the drop rates. So what can happen is like one day they'll be 500 gold, the next day they'll be 700, and the next day they'll be 300. So I actually just bought a vengeance wrap pattern from a guy, and I bought it in trade chat. That's another thing. When you buy it, you should buy it from trade chat. And the reason is you can like haggle a little bit more, a lot more. And a lot of the times the people that are selling them are fucking gold bots. So you can just be like, hey, I'll give you 400 gold right now. Okay, I'll come back to and so I think you should haggle for them. But the reason I think that they're a good investment is because what happens is if you get them low enough, what happens is people actually start using them and then they're like, oh, it's really expensive. Maybe I could make money on this. And then they buy them. So like, yeah, I think those will be good investments as long as your entry is a reasonable price. You'll make money on it. Do you just use default crafting strings or custom ones? Default crafting strings. I don't know what you mean by that. I just use TSM. And oh, I see what you're saying. You are talking about if I go to crafting, I use that. I just changed DB market to DB buyout. In fact, what'll be really useful for you guys. Yeah, no problem, Exodus. Resilience? Really resilient. Okay, so when no problem, man. When I set up TSM, the first things that I do, and I put there's a video that I have called actually I'll show you guys in the Discord because like I have this useful video titles and I think it's not used because I didn't do it a great way. One, supposedly YouTube doesn't like it when you link to things. It would rather have you find them organically through like their searches. So I put like a blurb in this, search these videos. I'm not going to put links in here because it could fuck me, but honestly I'll probably just put links in them. I don't really care. But this video here, which is called How to Use TSM to Make Gold in TBC Classic Beginner Guide. If you look this one up, I walk through exactly how I set up my TSM, and from the app helper to like the strings. I think it's a relatively good video. Oh, you can't see the contents of that video? Should be on everyone. Can you guys not see this channel? That'd be weird. I will have to test that. If I go to, I'm sure I'm gonna fuck something up by doing this screen that you guys. If I go to roles, do it as default. Do the server is this? Do server this role. Hey, you should be able to see it. You can't see everything? Oh, maybe because you don't have the history. That might fix it for you, sir. That should fix it. Let me see. Let's see here. Okay, so what was it? Oh yeah, so in that video, the TSM video, it shows you what I changed, but I changed this, and there's a reason for that. Is like when I go to craft, I want to be able to see the other thing, like that's so when I set everything up, that's the first thing I changed, right? Is I changed this, which it's normally set to DB market. The reason I don't do that is if something needs like greater eternal essence. Look at the difference there between the market value and the min buyout. So if I'm trying to find a good deal on a craft, it's always going to tell me the market value, which is like a slow mover, right? It's averaged out over 2 weeks. Is how market value works. And I think it also gets rid of outliers. So if something is super cheap or super expensive, it doesn't include that. Min buyout changes by the minute, right? So it did not fix. Fuck. Okay, I'll look into that, guys. Thank you. In fact, I'll add it to the list of shit I need to do. Okay, let's look at our list. Fix the Gillee channel seen by people. Okay, so we've got automod for bot view spam so that people can't say come buy views. Lower the volume on alerts. I think I did this. Oh shit. I think I did that. Set up commands for Discord, YouTube. I suck at streaming, and fix the Gillee channel. I think that's it. If there's anything else that you guys see that's like fucked, please let me know. You guys are my guinea pigs, and I really do appreciate it. By the way, thanks, Hightallion. I really love making the videos, so glad you are enjoying them. For TSM though, what I do is after I set up the app helper and I set up the custom crafting one, I will go into here into like a crafting thing, and actually I can't not yet. I'm almost able to show you guys how to set up a nether, but you can go in here to materials and you can like choose the price of something, which I think I've shown a couple of times now on stream, and I have a video, I think like it's called like manual pricing for TSM, something along those lines. But like let's say I wanted so like jewel crafting. So see this black pearl, how it says it's like 7 gold profit, because I'm crafting these, and it's pulling the 4 gold, 11 silver from TSM DB min buyout. But let's say I want to set the shadow pearl to like, I don't know, 10,000 gold. Shadow pearl. I just go make this 10,000 gold. And then it says, oh, this thing's really fucking expensive. Now, when would I want to do this? You'd want to do this at like there's some times, and it's different for every expansion, but when you have an item like Primal Nether that you can't sell on the auction house, TSM can't get data from it because it's bind on pickup. Anything with bind on pickup. So if you can't like, if it can't pick up a value from the auction house, then you don't get a number here and you can't tell your profit. But you can set up, you can assign value to random items in this material thing, which is really useful. Because then you can be like, okay, I'm going to charge them 100 gold for a nether. And then that tells me, it gives you like a baseline of what the other mats are doing, so you can come up with a crafting cost for it. And then if you want to reset it, you just hit this reset the default button. And then some people have asked me like how you set up the tooltip. I've helped many people actually, and I'm considering like, well, at some point when I figure out my timing, I want to try to do like one-on-ones and like help people set up TSM or like, you know, do their thing. I've talked about the Dave Ramsey style podcast, but you know, setting up TSM is a fucking beast, right? People are terrified of the add-on because it does so much. It's like Linux operating system. So I think it'd be useful to like do one-on-one. I help you get set up and then you're good. And thanks, Martin. And then what you do in order to set this up, you just go to TSM/TSM settings tooltip, and you basically just click everything. And like if you can't get market value, like see how these are mutually exclusive, like you either have one or the other. I do everything with trend, and then I make sure that the crafting cost ones are there, and then that's pretty much all I use. Full inventory, like the more data the better, and that's what I do. And like it's pretty easy. I'm always scared off by TSM invert. Yeah, I understand. That's kind of like, and I don't use Auctionator because I just kind of force myself to use TSM. Just about to bite the bullet. I'm an alchemist and an herber. Do you recommend buying the writing or buying herbs from mana or pots? I mean, I don't know when you put that or if you're still around. Hopefully you're still around. I would 100% wait on buying Epic Flying. I would push that as long as you're willing to be slow, because right now is like such a good time to make money for the rest of the game. I'm with you though. I'm ready to buy Epic Flying myself. I think I'm gonna buy it after the gold like craze of phase 2. When I sell off all of my like phase 2 consumes and investments or like flips, and then start positioning myself for the next couple phases. I'm at 7K doing small flips here and there, mining JC on a paladin. Any tips on getting more gold out of the 7K? Yeah, I mean, if you have 7K, anytime you have too much money that you can't spend it, you should go spend it and spend it on investments. And investments could be any consumable. I mean, it's kind of hard right now. Maybe your strategy is wait until phase 2 drops and then invest. I think that's reasonable. Or maybe your strategy is buy gems right now, and hold them until they're profitable. But what we know happens on a server lifetime is more and more and more and more gold is introduced. So if you hold, it's just like holding the a stash of dollars under your bed, like they used to do in the 20s. The value of that currency goes down. It's the same thing with gold because of inflation. So I think that is particularly affected in phase 2 and phase 3 because they come out with dailies, right? Dailies came out in TBC. There's a couple of dailies out right now, but they just ramp the dailies from here. So when ZA gets announced, I think that's when they come up with all of the whatever the fuck that island is called up there. Isle of Keldanas. There's a bunch of dailies here. There's dailies in Ogrela here, and then there's dailies in Skedis. And the thing about dailies is it's a little bit of a slow ramp. Like you have to get reputation in order to get more dailies. But then once you have the reputation, it's like you can come here and make 100 gold in an hour or something. You just do you just 5 or 6 dailies. Okay, best gold with tailoring is enchanting shovel with mage weave and rune cloth. Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I didn't mention that. So if you're crafting, and I know I'm a little bit behind chat, I'm still working to kind of like use it, but in tailoring, there are several recipes that are known to be good flips. One of them is the white bandit mask, I think is what it's called, because it needs one bolt of mage weave. This is basically free. It's 22 copper, and this is 20 silver or something like that. Or yeah, 19 silver. So what you would do is you would come up with, I think one bolt of mage weave is 5 mage weave cloth. Let's look at that real quick. So 5 times, we'll call it 16. I'll do the quick math that I would do before I did this. These are called shuffles, by the way. They're called enchanting or disenchanting shuffles. 5 times 0.16, 0.8. And then I'm going to add the cost of that thread, which you can probably get for cheaper depending on where you buy it. Oh yeah, and then othering ones. So it's about 1 gold to make a white bandit mask, right? If I go back to head. So, which you'll see the crafting cost there at the bottom is almost exactly 1 gold, right? So TSM is correct. And then it tells me the disenchant value. So the numbers there at the top, I wish I could point to them. I need like a laser pointer that you guys could see. But the disenchant value, it's like got vision dust, it's got small radiant shard, and it's got nether essence. The reason that this is a profitable one is because you get a shitload of vision dust and you get some small radiant shards, both of which are used. And vision dust, the reason that it's used is because if I come over here and I type in enchanting 1 to 375, which is what a normal average Joe would do, and he would click on either Wowhead or WoW Professions. Oh shit, I need 240 vision dust. Like, that's a lot of greens to get enchanting. It also turns out that warlocks need enchanting, or mages need enchanting as their best professions. So they need to get vision dust, a shitload of it, also dream dust, right, at 330. So everything else is pretty low, but like, it turns out that these two are the big bottlenecks of enchanting, which is now a meta profession. So what do? They buy them. They buy the dust. You can capitalize on that by sitting there and AFK crafting bolts of mage weave and crafting them into white bandit masks, and then the cost of that recipe you'll make back in one like group. And then the other one that you would do for dream dust is or that I do is the waist, this runecloth belt. It's kind of the same thing. It's like the cheapest way to get into dream dust. And you'll see there crafting cost is 123, disenchant value is 170, so you're making 50 silver per craft. You can craft these like pretty quickly and DE them, but like the gold per hour is not great, but you can do them fully AFK, which is the cool part. So yeah, like if you have a tailor and enchanter, you could do this for sure. I think there's the other one for netherweave. I gotta think about this. I think it's a bracer. I think it's this. Don't quote me on that. And of course I can't craft it on this account. But I think this is the one that you do for arcane dust, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Nope, it's not that. That needs leather. The things I'm looking for here, see the item level under the tailoring 310? The way that disenchanting works is it's based on the item level. So I'll show that in a second, P23148. The item level, if it's like so it's every 10. If it's like 91 to 95, let's say, you get like a little bit of dust and your chance of getting a planar is low, and you get like the shitty prismatic, or you get like the shitty shard. And then if it's like 90, in this case 96 to 99 or something, you'll get the better essence and the better shard. So if I go back to what I was just talking about earlier with white bandit mask, you'll see here it gets the vision dust, a lot of it, the shitty shard, which is in this case we actually want the small radiant, not the large radiant, and then you'll get the lesser nether. But if I do runecloth belt, and you'll see the item level there is like, this one's level 51, so I get the shitty essence, the shitty shard, and the dust. But then if I go up to like ghost weave belt, oh wait, hold on, find a good example. Probably the leg, these bright cloth legs, or yeah, I think. Well, this is an example. The item level is 58, and so I get the greater eternal essence, the large brilliant shard, and then I still get the dust. The problem is, to find these ones, it's kind of hard. That give you like the better essence and the better shard. There are some, like when you're leveling up. Let me see if I can remember one. Be this. Yeah, like that would be one that could be. That's not profitable because it needs too much mage weave. I remember from Sod, there's like one at the lower levels can be done. I won't try to find it right now, but there is one like that you can do that for. Okay, let's see here. Fuck. I think it's only message after setting that was changed. Okay, yeah, I'll look into that. Did not fix. Okay, that didn't blow out my eardrums. Thank you, Pazuzu. And thank you, Italian, for the follow. Okay. Remove I suck at streaming. Nope, not until I don't suck anymore. Took your trade channel tip with instruction recipe and I got it for 50 gold and expired. Yeah, so remember, anytime that somebody's selling something on the auction house for a value, you can almost always get it in trade chat for at least for like 95% of the value. So if I have if somebody's posting something for like 425 gold, I will, and that's like the cheapest one, I will message them and I'll do 425 times 0.95 and I'll offer them 400 gold. I'll say, hey, I'll give you 400 gold for your item right now. And it's good for them because they're worried about getting undercut. As soon as they get undercut, they get fucked. Unless you plan on doing a shit ton of gathering, hold off on epic flying. I agree. That is the perfect like poster board of if you should buy epic flying right now. If you can make money with it, like if you're gonna do engineering or like going sucking up clouds and all that stuff, I think you can make the money back pretty quickly. Or if like you're gathering with herbalism or mining even, and you're not gonna be instance, do it. I see them as low as 4. Okay. Spine Shedder EU. Damn, you got haste potion for 300 gold. That's fucking good. Is Spine Shedder the PvE one or the PvP? Yeah, so for frame of reference, I bought my haste potion, my destruction potion recipes like the first week or maybe the second week, and I paid I think 250 for destruction and I paid 500 for haste. And let's see here. I never even showed my hunter. I got distracted on the other video. I do appreciate you guys helping me test these settings. It's very important. Okay. I go TSM, Ledger. Ooh, it might not. My last 60 days should be there. Haste. Nope. Yeah, I bought it like the first. Oh wait, all time. Yeah, so haste potion 549, destruction potion 2. That's what I paid for it on like 62 days ago. Oh yeah, so the Wildcraft thing. Anyways, making gold by transmuting in later phases. I don't think so, no. 10k liquid gold that I have no clue what to do with. Yeah, I mean, what I would do, like, if you see something cheap, like, that's going to be used, I mean, you could do stuff like, fuck, what's it called? Seed. It's called something seed. Nightmare seed. These fluctuate a lot. You can get those. I don't know if tanks are going to use them. If pre-nerf, tanks will probably use them. Otherwise, they can only last for 2 minutes or 30 seconds. So it's like a consumable, whatever you call it, consumable cooldown, which can be useful. The other one that you could do is, which I would say Dark Rune. About this. On Night Slayer, like this is pretty cheap for, in my opinion, for large prismatics. I think, remember, these were at 25 gold at the beginning of phase 3 in Classic, not on a mega server. I think these go up to like at least 25 gold. You just have to wait a couple months. So every time you buy one of these, in my view, you're buying 7 gold for 17, which is 7 over 17, like a 40%. I would stay away, honestly, from Greater Planar. I just think there's too many greens that drop in raids. But these probably go up a little bit. Don't do Void Crystals. Any herb, I think you're pretty safe. I don't say any herb, but like most herbs, you're probably pretty safe investing in because of the layer issue. If you look back at like It's like the layer issue where the more raid logging you have, the more consumables become. And combine that with the fact that like inflation, I think, is going to hit us. I think you're pretty safe buying any herb that's used, like Terracone, Fellweed, Dreaming Glory, Manathistle, I think, is going to go down. And some of them could go down for the Sketis things, but I think that the volume is too much, that the volume that you'll get from the Sketis mobs won't be able to keep up with the volume that people are consuming them in. So, which is different than Manathistle for the Sketis mobs, because again, a flask lasts through death, right? So you use 3 Manathistle for 2 hours, you could use 30 Fellweed in 2 hours. Is it realistic to get gems to go back to release prices? Is it realistic? Depends on what Blizzard does. I mean, yeah, I think that they're pretty cheap right now. We will see what happens though at the phase release. 82 silver, if I had gold, I'd be buying that. The problem with gems, as I've always said, with investing in them, the deposit cost on these is hard. And the return, the percentage return on them is low. Like, do these go up to 120 gold? What's more likely? This is like the math that I do. What's more likely, for these to go up to 120 gold, or for Super Mana to go up to 3 gold? I think Super Mana going to 3 gold is way more likely. But I could be wrong. You know, I'm wrong a lot. So I am personally not doing the gems because they're hard to sell, and the return on investment is just not there. You know, so like, again, what's in my mind, what's more likely, a large prismatic going to 27 gold or living rubies going to 120? I think the guaranteed is large prismatics, but I could also see living rubies going to 120. I just think it's like not as likely as the other ones. Let's see here. Okay, so before I forget, Wowcraft, if you guys haven't seen this, it's really cool. I have it bookmarked. So they used to have another site. I think it was called, like, it might have been Nexus or something like that, where you can put in like your server and your faction, and then you can do like I think you can choose like which recipes you want to use and which you don't, and then it'll tell you the cost to go from that from one level to another. I think this, if we're talking about investments, long-term investments, like aquamarines, if you go look at a Wrath server, this part right here, this 15 aquamarine signets, is like 500 gold because the aquamarines are so expensive. So like an aquamarine is 12 gold or something ludicrous. And you know, I think that it's like I think each one of these needs 3 aquamarine. So I mean, the numbers get really funny real quickly. But who knows if we go to Wrath? That's the problem. But yeah, this site will tell you like the cost associated with each one based on the market value, which is really cool. That's called Wowcraft, I think .io. Got FOMO on instruction books as we close to phase 2. Lowest I've seen is 300 gold. Yeah, I mean, the problem is like right now you have 2 types of players. You have the people that are just like raid logged and they're just logging in, getting their gear, logging out. And then you have other people that are like farming gold, trying to get prepared, that are either, and within that you have 2 realms. You have people that are broke because they've invested everything, or you have people that have money but don't want to invest because they think that things are too expensive right now, which makes sense. It sounds like people that are asking the questions right now are the people that have the money but are like not exactly sure what to buy because they think everything is going up. Like Netherbloom is doubled in price. Why would I want to do that? you have to really kind of believe that while this is much more expensive than it used to be, um, is it going to go up or down? I think it's going to go up. So it doesn't really matter what it was 2 weeks ago, because in 5 weeks, it's probably going to be worth 7 gold a piece. And I'll like go to like Apple stock. Like this would be a great example. Like it was 100 and let's say 2021, right before, like we're in COVID. Oh, well, let's zoom out a little bit. Okay, 2021, you're like, holy fuck, 3 years ago it was $50. Now it's $120. Surely this is too much. I can't buy it. And then look what happens. It goes up and up and up and up and up. Like just because something has done well in the past doesn't mean that it's going to go down or flatten out. It could continue to go up if it's a good investment, like if it's a good company. If you have a good like premise on the in this case the item, but the stock. Like if Netherbloom was a stock, would you invest in it? I think the factors that are for Netherbloom is that there's very few layers. It's only farmable outside and in Botanica, which you can get some in Botanica, but like you have to do Botanica, which takes like an hour. It's not like bottable or anything like that. And then on top of that, it's used for like literally all the best potion consumes that are used over and over and over and over and over in a raid. And so, and on a mega server where there's 300,000 raiders, where people are willing to swipe to get their gold, like that's the for case, right? In my mind, it's very easy to make that case. The against case for Netherbloom, again, in my frame of reference here, is that Blizzard says, hey, our bad. We meant to buff both Terracone and Netherbloom because both of them are fucked. You can farm everything else in an instance except for Terracone and Netherbloom, and I guess you can't farm Mana Thistle, but like the Skedis guys farm Mana Thistle, and they have the Illidari thing in phase 3, the Mark of the Illidari, which relieves the flask prices, right? So I could see them. Like why you shouldn't invest in Netherbloom in my mind would be for that reason right there. Is if you think Blizzard's going to do something about it, then maybe you wait. And that was a good call in Classic, or I'm sorry, in Anniversary Vanilla. Is Black Lotus was like 200 gold at the beginning of I think BWL, and then they nerfed it, right? Or they increased the drop rate. So something to consider there. How about 40 Night's Eye and Starfloon at 80% market value? Nice. Yeah, so I think anytime you can buy stuff at 80% market value, you're probably fine. Like no matter what happens. The chance of relative to, like you'll either have time to get out and wash, or it'll turn around. Grab 500 throughout the day. Nice. You think you could solo herb Botanica as druid? I don't know. I don't have any gathering like herbalists, but my thought is that if you could, the price would probably go down. So I like the fact the price continues to only go up for literally weeks means that there's just not enough supply to meet it. And what's happening right now, the prices on Horde Night Slayer, the price has been around this price point, like 5 to 6 gold, for about a week and a half now. And what happens is every Thursday this spikes, right, which causes the haste potion to spike, to try to like compensate, because people can't buy, they can buy the haste potions cheaper than they can buy the mats, which then causes the haste potions to go up. So like what I've been trying to do is you can see I have 915 haste potions left. Every time that I see these go like over 850, I post like 10 stacks to see if they'll sell. And I've sold some haste potion. You can see I've sold some, like that's 6 stacks. Like that's not very much, but all of those are like pretty good prices. I've made quite a bit of money on those. And then these are all posted at, I think, 8 gold. But you can see, like, remember, this is what it's giving me back, which means I sold them for more than this. But I only post like 10 stacks and I'll get undercut a shitload. So like this is on Thursday nights probably, or anytime I see them over that. It looks like this was one day, 6 hours ago. So this was, oh, this was Sunday night. Yeah. Let me see. And then the other one's expensive where I think this is probably Thursday. It is hard work. Yeah. But it's only hard work right now. Yep. It uses on deposit. Exactly. That's why you don't want to spam. Like I'm trying not to post a shitload. Keep in mind, 3 or 4 weeks ago, you could post unlimited of these and they would all sell. I've sold 6,000 of them. And most of those like just me posting and then leaving because they would all sell. So just keep in mind that like kind of churn will come back in phase 2. People are just afraid to buy these because you don't need them in Kara or Mag Gruul, and they're expensive right now. But I guarantee, like, if we get the phase 2 announcement tomorrow, these are going to go fucking crazy. I know it. Like, they'll go up. The fact they're going up to over 9 gold without a phase 2 announcement or without a phase 2 means when there's actually like a real demand for these, they're just going to go crazy. I think that the sleeper thing, actually, now that I think about it, I do think, I don't have a ton of these. I wish I had more gold because I would buy more. I just spent some money on my hunter. Like, I don't know, like probably 2,000 gold on my hunter. But if I had money, I'd probably be buying Superman. I have 800, and I think I still have some. I sell some fellweed. Let's see here. 80 fellweed, and then maybe a little Dreaming Glory. Nope. My other character have any of this? My bank 3 has 300. Yeah, I don't have any Dreaming Glory right now. 11 gold is perfect. I mean, like, if you can sell a couple there, you're really using that price point to tell you, like, oh shit, this is what the price could get to, right? If there's any meaningful demand, this is what it's going to be. That's the way that I look at those spikes. And granted, you'll have a lot of people that like come in. You have an investments list that we could use. I don't. Everything that I talk about investing is probably in the market update, which is why I watch them. And in my mind, the market updates, those are like the for sure thing. Like, it's not a hard list is the reality of it. It doesn't need to be. It's consumes. Reputation mats are really good for flipping. Enchanting mats and jewel crafting mats. Like, I think you're fine in any one of those. Just like, what level of risk are you willing to, like, the gems right now, they're really cheap. Are they good? Are they good buys? Yeah, but there's other things you could invest in. If I had, like, I don't know, 5,000 super mana potions, I'd be like, okay, I'm done with super mana. I'm gonna start buying. I'd probably go to gems. I'd probably go living rubies, or maybe food. Actually, food would probably be my next one. I'd buy a shitload of cheap food. Because again, like, I think that people are going to die a lot in progression. So like, black and I think it's this. Like, you can see the market value down 5%. Let's look at the chart on these. And this, I guess I paid for this at one point, and I don't remember doing that, but apparently I did. I don't pay for it anymore, to be fair. Consumables. Black and Basilisk. Okay, so let's see what this price has done, like, since the release. So this is probably like the most meaningful price right here, 1 gold 30. So that's what I would say, like, the high point of the. I bet these go to 1 gold 30 in phase 2. And it's like, okay, nobody has any money. Game just released. Okay, we're starting to raid. When did we start to raid? The, like, 17th maybe? Or no, the 19th. Is that when the raid's released? I think that's when the raid's released. And then, okay, the day after, everyone buys it, right? Because the raid just released. Oh shit, the raid's super easy. Stop buying it, stop buying it, stop buying it, stop buying it, stop buying it. Okay, it's price. Okay, stop buying it. It's like, now we're down here at the bottom. Phase 2's gonna release, and it's gonna pop up. That's 130 over 88. I mean, that's a 47%. Again, like we're talking about what's more likely, that Black and Basilisk goes up to 130 or Living Rubies go up to 120. I don't know. Probably, I mean, if I look at Living Ruby, it's probably the same thing, honestly. Probably same similar chart. So I think they're both good investments. I just would rather deal with bulk food. So same time frame here. These were, well, actually, no, maybe not. 104. This is because you could farm them like on, I showed you the Rogue video. 104, and they've kind of bled a little bit. Honestly, they've kind of held, but like this bleeding here, so like these probably go back up to 105. That's where it was for the majority of the phase. We've kind of been getting this bleeding effect. But 105 over 87, let's do the same math. 105 over 87, that's a 20% return. Like, that's pretty good. Man is going to go up because people will care more about parsing. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, like, choose your investment. I think there's plenty of things you can buy. If you guys want me to look this stuff up, join the Discord. Ask me for a price. I have no problem posting this type of stuff. Just at me. I don't watch the Discord obviously all the time every day because I'm working and whatnot. But if you at me, I will almost always respond. So at least until I get 1,000 ats a second or whatever. Okay, I think I'm probably gonna end the stream here in about 10 minutes. So any other questions you guys want to ask? I've got to go make a couple thumbnails for the Gillee report and then the other video that I shot, which is talking about phase 2 timing. I think it's highly likely that we get a phase 2 announcement tomorrow. I didn't get anything done, which is totally fine. This is why I'm a shitty streamer. I've really been enjoying the video making and the streaming. I'm a habitual learner, I guess is what I would call myself. I love learning new shit. Like, I love getting uncomfortable with what I know. And when I started when I started making the videos, I basically told myself, like, I'll just try to improve one thing every video. And I think I have. Like, you can kind of see the progression. Streaming, though, I'm kind of doing the same thing now. I'm using streaming as a way to increase the rate of my value, I guess. Like, so I get better returns on, like not better returns, get like better like timely feedback, I guess is what I'm trying to say. You know, from you guys. It's like we can have conversations like this where it's a little bit easier for me to respond in long form. I don't have to type it all out like I would in Discord. It's kind of like a big Discord call is what a live stream is. What has surprised me about it? I've said it too many times. I feel like I don't want you guys to feel like I'm being fake humble, because I'm not. I literally thought that I would post these videos and only my guild, like a couple people in my guild, would watch them. I did not expect for literally anyone to watch anything. I tried to stream a long time ago when I was in college in like 2013. And I was on a different, I don't even remember the account, but I had like, I think I had like 50 followers or subscribers, whatever they're called on Twitch. I think followers. And I streamed like an entire summer for like 12 hours a day because I was a college student, and I did like my military thing for a couple weeks because I was an officer or whatnot. And then did like my officer training, and then I came back and I had nothing to do. School wasn't there, so I just fucking played Arma 2 and Daisy, Mod, and all these other things that are now games like PUBG PUBG Wasteland, or whatever the fuck it's called. It used to be called, it's called PUBG Battle Royale, which I think is what the game turned into. Or like I remember when the Daisy standalone came out. That's what I was streaming back then. So what surprised me the most is like I started posting these videos like very low effort, just like putting my thoughts out there and people tuned in. It's kind of fucking crazy. That's what surprised me the most. I've learned like so much more. You know, I've done the video editing now a little bit. I can touch it up. I think my next foyer. So in February, I said to myself, I'm gonna post a video a day as long as I can, right? And so for a month, I originally said I was gonna try to post a video a day for a month. And I pretty much did that. There were some days I posted 2 because like I would miss a day. So I posted a ton, and then I just started getting a little bit of traction, that was the most surprising part, that people actually chose to listen. So I'm just glad I can help people, honestly. I really enjoy, like, I'm an engineer. If I weren't an engineer or like a programmer, I'm kind of a little bit of both. I'm a PLC and HMI programmer. And if I wasn't doing that, I'd probably be teaching, because I really do enjoy like helping people learn stuff. I think that's because I like to learn. Yeah, if you're getting boosted. Yeah, so I tried to, when I was playing my hunter, I did like 2 or 3 runs of Shadow Labs. Or no, I think I did 1 set of 5. That's what I did. 1 set of 5 for like 120 gold. And it was like kind of mediocre XP. Nice, Exodus. Yeah, so like I do stuff with like I was a naval officer for 8 years, and then in 2021 I got out and went back to school for computer science. And then a little thing called artificial intelligence, like ChatGPT, came out right as I finished my second bachelor's in 2023. And that made finding an entry-level job hard. So my first degree is in nuclear engineering, and I kind of got a job that did both. So I do like ignition, Rockwell, a little bit of Siemens, all in like the water and wastewater industry. But what I love about PLC and HMI is like you can do everything. Like you can do any industry pretty much, any manufacturing. It's really cool. You made me do fresh and seriously for the first time. Nice. That's that phrase. That's what I love to hear. Like people that think that you can only farm, like what I'm doing right now, I fucking hate. It makes it easier when I can like, you know, chat with you guys, but man, just sitting there farming or running around, flying around, mounting up, gather 6 gold worth of shit, and then hop back on your mount and run around for another 10 minutes before you find something else. Like, that just is not for me. Siemens, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm actually converting a plant. I'm not super familiar with Siemens. The plant that I'm working on right now, they have Siemens like S7s and like super old. And they fucking hate them and are switching. But yeah, Siemens is like, I think they're the largest in the space. It's cool, man. I really like PLC stuff. I've actually considered, you know, when I get a little bit more familiar, I think that'd be a fun YouTube channel, like teaching people about that stuff, like a hobby YouTube channel where you like teach people about automation. $370 alchemy, okay. Which mastery do I think is worth going into? Right now, Mana Thistle is really expensive, so it's hard to get the amount of volume that you need to get the flasks. But you can do things like Elixir of Healing Power and let's see here. I'll tell you, because it'll be easier. Like this, you're probably not going to make a ton of money because of the Nether Bloom. Like it'll be harder for you, like, excuse me, at least. I think this is a recipe that you have to find. I don't think anyone uses this because you have the Pure Death. Healers use this one, so you could make good money there, but then you have the Terracone issue. Let's see here. No, this one would be good, but you would need Well, you'll have honor hold. This one could be good. But the problem with elixir right now is the flasks are really expensive. So you can't make very much volume without a lot of gold. And the other elixirs are kind of garbage. And when phase 2 comes, most people are going to use flasks because they persist through death. So it's actually cheaper. Well, I don't know about cheaper, but it's like your bang for your buck is much more when you use a flask and when you're dying. So for that reason, I think you're better off going potion right now, actually, if you're level 70. If you're level 70, go potion, do the Botanica thing, and then craft like major mana. You can do these. This is like a vendor one I always talk about. Like you can see there, the min buyout on Ragvale is 32 silver. There's 2 of them. You need 1 crystal vial, so the cheap vial, that's 5 silver, let's call it. So 5 silver plus 2 times 32 or 2 times 33. You're right at 70 silver. And so these vendor for 70 silver, which means any proc you get Mad Alchemist. Or you get 70 silver. So that can be useful for potion. But the problem with potion is that the only other potions that people use are like haste, destruction, and super mana. So that can be an issue there. If you're not doing that, like it's kind of hard to make money with potion mastery. So kind of a really long-winded answer to it depends on what you can get. Like if you can get a cheap haste potion recipe, or if you just want to craft a shitload of super mana, I would do that. It looks like why Calidor is saying Gift of Arthas. Yeah, Greater Arcana. I've had some Greater Arcana elixirs are good. Again, the problem with these are all tank consumes that he's talking about. So they you can buy both these from the vendor now. Is gift. So these can be useful for sure, and most main tanks will use this, or all the tanks will use this that aren't using a flask, which I think top paladins they can use a flask for threat. Otherwise, I think they use Gift of Arthas and let me think about this, and the Great Arcane, which he's talking about. I'm not sure what druids use. They probably use Major Agility and maybe Gift of Arthas. Mighty Rage? Is that true? Let's look. Kind of interesting. Ability potion. 200 sold? Yeah, that's not bad. I feel like the margin isn't super great there, but damn, that's more than I would expect. And then Invis. Ability maybe. 73. Like, yeah, those are going to be kind of hard to sell. What about lesser Invis? And then 60. I'm looking at the region average daily sold, by the way. So yeah, I mean, like, I like to go for high volume. The Gift of Arthas and the Greater Arcane probably fit those. But those are elixirs, I think. Wait, why isn't 30 spell power enchant on Skin Knife giving me any effect on my level 6? So the way that spell power works is it's based on the cast time. So if you are casting a 1 second cast Frostbolt or something, you won't get the full effect. It'll be a coefficient. So if you look up like what's your class? I'm just gonna assume you're a mage. Spell power coefficient TBC mage or something. Like who knows if this is right, but mage. Oh, these are all like the highest level. That's not what I want. It's something like that. I don't want to look for them, but basically the lower the cast time, I think it's anything under 2.5 seconds will be not a full 100%. So you can keep your skinning knife. It's giving you, if it's giving you damage, but just not a full 30. I'm farming Winter Spring because I hate myself and I want to get Timbermaw Hold to Honored. So I was doing a quest for this, which I will now go turn in. The reason that I want that to Honored is because I want the enchant, because I sell enchants and I get people to ask me for it a lot, and I also have a hunter now that could use them. Hey, look, I haven't seen those there. Which is this enchant weapon agility, which gets replaced in phase 3. I also have a 375 jewel crafter, but I use my hunter and mine for a few hours to. Yeah, I mean, I think that's, if you can mine, well, it kind of depends on if it's worth it right now, but yeah, I mean, that's just like an extra added thing for farming, right? Which is useful. Might be a dumb question. Can you enchant your alt gear? If they're on a different account, yeah. Otherwise, no. Unless if you enchant like a BOE item and then you can send that, but no, you can't enchant it on their character. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here, and I'm just gonna make a thumbnail. But I do appreciate you guys tuning in for this test stream. We shot the Gillee report number 3, and then shot the shit for a little bit. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in and helping me kind of figure out these settings and make my list of shit I need to improve. So really appreciate you guys giving me some support and you know, helping me out. So if it's good morning, great. If it's you know, have a great day. Otherwise, good night, everyone. And I will see you tomorrow in the live stream, which we should be starting at 8:30 Pacific, which is about an hour earlier than I started today, roughly. So, all right, guys, have a good night or good morning.